Okay.
Sandra, if you wardrobe things.
Okay. So, as nearly everybody of us wants, I wanted to be married, I wanted to have children, and also important, I wanted to have a job that I can pay my rent and have maybe also a little bit fun. But unfortunately, I wasn't so good in relationships. So sometimes it was too much closeness and sometimes too little. So at the end, I was married, but after 3 years, I decided, no, this is not how it should feel. And so I made a completely cut, even because I also, maybe also for medical reasons, I never have got children. So on one point, I decided I have to change everything completely. And as the other things didn't work, I concentrate on my job. So I moved to another city, in that case from Osnabrück to Cologne, and I changed in the company to another job. And I left the husband. So, what point? So now a completely other life started because I had 37 square meters in the middle of Cologne. I was on the road the whole week. I was a sales representative now for a very big famous company, same company as before, but it was a very big famous company. And so I was now in the best hotels, in the best restaurants. I have eaten things I would never have had the money before, all paid by the company. So, and I was invited to events, biggest of the industry, where they were organizing things for us that wouldn't have been otherwise not possible. So everything seems to be fine. And also at this time, I started to have a boyfriend in Berlin. I mean, the long distance was not a problem because I was traveling the whole week anyway. So to visit him on the weekends in Berlin was not such a problem. So, and then the only point was that as I was working so many years for the same company, even if I changed the jobs there, I really never did really more money. You know, if you start here, it's not so easy to get to that point. And so someone from outside came, a business partner, and told me, oh, I know the solution. There is a job offer, and this solves all your problems. And so really, I applied for this job. I had to move, I got the job. I had to move for this job to Frankfurt, Main. And I mean, when I moved with that car which had my furniture on it to Frankfurt, and I opened the door of that new flat, I knew already that was the beginning of the end. Because everything was dirty, and where the heating should be, it was something like it was before the heating, it was in the middle of the room, and where the toilet should be, there was a hole, and there was no water. And it was, by the way, my birthday, and it was winter, and it were minus 20 degrees. But at the end, I was able to manage the problem with the flat. But the next point was that the job was not what they promised me. And so now I was in Frankfurt. I hate Frankfurt. I had a job that I didn't like. And all my friends, including my boyfriend, were far away. So that was already a catastrophe. But then something came in addition. My mother fell into a coma, and that meant for me that I had, because I wanted to manage everything. So now I had on the weekends to travel, in addition to that 2,000 kilometers in the week, to travel to the hospital where she was, which was in Dresden, to her house, which was in Merseburg, and then for sure to my boyfriend, and he was in Berlin, so 1,300 kilometers only on the weekend. So that ended up after a short time that I completely collapsed. I came in hospital, I was 3 or more months in hospital. I was, at the end, my body was full of pain. And finally I decided to cancel everything, the job, the flat, and I moved to Berlin. So I arrived in Berlin, I still was not fit again. I was at the end 1 year full of depressions and pain in my body. So, but now I was in Berlin, I was unemployed, I had not a lot of money because, as you can imagine, I had a job before where I had a life, best hotels, everything, so I didn't save anything. So I was pure, I was in Berlin, I had no job. It was the completely other way to that what I had before. But the only point, the only good point was I had my boyfriend. So, and then I still in a really bad condition. He was walking a lot with me, but where we lived, it was where walks through the ghetto. And then one day I said to him, normally a man would invite me to Italy, to the best restaurants, and you walk with me through its ugly houses, and I feel air in the love in the air. What happened to me? And that was the point where my humor came back. And a little bit later, a miracle happened. I was pregnant, and I have got a cute son, and after 2.5 years, another cute son, and we married. And at the end, I can tell you, it's more important to have the right person on your side than all the other things. Thank you.